Welcome to the Starting Over Podcast. I'm your host, Edward Shelton, aka Dark Logos, and this is a show where we look at the strategies, tactics, and mechanics behind the game of heroclix. All right, today we're going to go through Captain Marvel. It's a smaller set. I'm going to be probably a little bit more detail oriented, and then I'm going to have, if I have any time left, I'm going to go in and just talk about some things I've noticed in the state of the game. So yeah. Let's do this. I'm going to give you my overall impressions at the beginning. My initial impressions is this set is pretty good. Should you blow a bunch of money on it? No. Should you go online and look for singles? Yes. If you have a budget of like $50 for pools, and then have like another, $50 for online, then that's probably your better bet. If you just want one or two pieces, just go online. I can't say that this set is 100% go buy a countertop display. But I do think there are some things that are pretty decent. So let's start. All right, we have number one, shifting focus, Captain Marvel. And she has a special power, which is Quake. When Captain Marvel uses it after resolutions, any hit targets that didn't take damage from the attack or dealt one penetrating damage. This is nice. It guarantees that you're at least getting one through. It would have been a little bit better if it just said, hey, you get precision strike. This doesn't do anything to Invincible, mind you. It just deals with impervious, so you might as well have been better if you just had precision strike. But okay, never mind. I know why, because precision strike only works against one target. So overall, the dial length is nice because you're hitting that 7 click range, and that's not showing up as much as it used to. She's melee form, which is all right because you're shifting focusing. So she'll, if you need to at the beginning, just shift into range form. Kree Soldier, Kree Supremacy, Elite Forces once per turn when a friendly character that's adjacent or has the keyword. Wow, that's a little rough. Rolls for breakaway, and the result is 1. You may re-roll that die if that character is both adjacent and has the key Kree word. Instead, you may re-roll a result of 1 or 2. This is pretty good if you're going for a Kree team. It gives you a little bit of options in terms of breakaway. The stats are all right. You're mainly I need to be able to talk. You're mainly using this in a Kree team. I don't really see you using this in a soldier team. You're going to be pushing probably towards click 2 so that you can get enhancement. All right, let's talk about Scroll Warrior. This is where some of the inequalities come in, because the Scroll TA is good versus Kree having nothing. No shield like they had in some, past sets, nothing. Like you're just stuck. And I think Kree had like shield and supernova or something like that. I think they got team ability there. I could be wrong. It's been a long time. So, first off, they have improved movement and ignores hindering. Then they have secret invasion. Who do you trust? A scroll warrior occupies hindering terrain. Instead of the result of his shape change, increase the roll of his shape change rolls by +1. Adjacent opposing characters can't use leadership or be carried. Now, functionally, all it's just saying is that he's going to have standard shape change if he's in stealth, which is nice because you don't have shape change any other way. So there is that. Now, if you start looking at Golden Age elements and you assign him, Star Sapphire Ring, then this sucker becomes really annoying. I also, WizKids, if you're listening, if you're listening, I want a standard Super Scroll, please, with this trait in a limited selection pick a power. Can you do that for me? All right. Let's keep going. Next up is Nick Fury, and Nick Fury is coming in at 50 points. Nick Fury is the awesomeness that we sort of need and want because he does a couple of interesting things I think most people haven't really noticed. Number one, 50 points with 5 clicks. We really haven't been getting that too often. And I think he comes in pretty stout. I think mainly because his damage reduction is on the back end instead of the front. But that's something to be considered. I think his health for his cost is pretty good. Next up, his attack values are above average for a 50-point piece. Running shot, 11 attack, 3 damage. Now, you could say that the 5 range is a little bit limiting, and I can understand that, but I would also sort of counter and say, like, look, you can play him with a bunch of other elements that can help increase his range. He has good movement, so his running shot isn't horrible. It's not, freaking Hawkeye or anything, but it's not horrible. We only get one shot, people. Leadership with Nick Fury or an adjacent friendly character attacks before the attack roll. You may remove a tradecraft token. If you do, opposing effects can't. If you do, opposing effects can't re-roll that attack. So no Trelane, no other little silliness, no prop from your opponent. You pretty much just say, like, yeah, this is going down. The Espionage Super Spy, Nick Fury starts the game with 3 tradecraft tokens free. Remove a tradecraft token and choose one. Improved targeting, ignores hindering. Improved movement, ignores hindering. Nick Fury can use that ability until your next turn. So it's not great. I wouldn't depend on it for my stealth busting, but it's all right. Atalas. Okay. Not the greatest. Kree Supremacy, deep cover, friendly characters that are adjacent or have Kree keyword, modify their defense by +1. If you have the Kree keyword, you don't have to be adjacent. Also modify defense by +1 against ranged attacks. So you're +2 against range, which is really nice. So you're functionally giving your Kree energy shield deflection on a global sense. Now, is this good? And what I am going to say is yes, because unless they got this wrong, this is not a unique modifier. Okay, so now if 8C realms, which they frequently do, have this wrong, then yeah, you only need one. If they don't have this right, yes, you want two, because this is not a unique modifier. But again, it's 50 points. You're probably going to be pushing into the perplex. It's not the worst piece, but it's not really that great. Yawn wrong. Kree Supremacy for Hala. Once per turn for all characters with this trait. When a friendly character that's adjacent or has the key Kree word hits, action total +1. If that character is both adjacent and has a Kree keyword, action total +2. You would, this is good in like 500, 700, 800 point games where you have a crap ton of like older Kree warriors. You have these guys, you have a Captain Marvel and maybe a Ronin, one of the older Ronins. Overall, just because of the point cost of these guys, I don't think you're going to be using that too often. Definitely in standard, you're not. I mean, if you are, it's a fun game. Because these Kree guys do not add up in equivalency to be worth it in a serious competitive manner. That's the main thing that I think. All right, let's go to Kree Combatant. Now, again, this is another one of these filler guys. Once per turn for all characters with this trait, when an opposing character rolls to break away from friendly characters that are adjacent or have Kree keyword, and then roll a 6, you may re-roll that die if at least one of those friendly characters is both adjacent and Kree. Instead, you may roll a 5 or 6. All right. That's not bad. So I don't think it's probably worth having. But again, it's more cheap filler. Okay. Skull Technician. Secret Invasion. We've learned all about you. If Skull Technician occupies hindering terrain, increase the results of his shape change rolls by +1. Again, WizKids, if you're listening, please give me a Super Scroll with this trait. It also has limited pick power. Thank you very much. All right, so also just to note the shots fired. Mike SQ, where's my fancy Dan teams? Anyway, just kidding. All right. If Scroll Technician occupies hindering terrain, increase the result of the shape change by +1 once per turn when an opposing character within range would use Outwit, Perplex, or Probability Control. You may roll a d6, 5 through 6. That character can't use that power until your next turn. Now, I don't know how this works against Paracosmic. I'm going to assume Paracosmic sort of protects you because it's using the same wording as Outwit. But if it does, great. If it doesn't, great. I really don't care. Overall, he is way too expensive. And unfortunately, you're going to buy him if you love scrolls like I do. Now, I know some people, I'm going to interrupt this with some comic knowledge. Some people be like, scrolls are the enemies, they're the devil. But if you go in the history of the Kree and scrolls, the scrolls were actually like the civilized ones that introduced the Kree to technology, and the Kree are really like the barbarians. It's like Frieza introducing the Saiyans to technology. That's pretty much it. So yeah, the next time you look at Captain Marvel and Captain Marvel, but not Black Captain Marvel, just realize that their powers come from barbarians. Yep, and the scrolls are right. They love us so much. All right, keeping rolling. Phil Coulson. Now, Phil Coulson, I think his cost is wrong because they have it listed as 50 points, and I think he's 75 points. So yeah, it's espionage. Always been a collector. Phil Coulson starts the game with 3 tradecraft tokens. It's okay. When an equipped object would be dropped or KO, you may remove 2 tradecraft tokens to instead equip that equipment to Phil Coulson or an adjacent friendly character. Now, this is dumb. This is dumb. Now, I know some of you are going to say, how, Edward, is this dumb? You can jack your opponent's objects. And definitely if they're not careful and they put the objects on more fragile pieces, it's like, oh, I put that Proxima Spear on Hawkeye. I know he's going to die. But then it's like, boom, I killed your Hawkeye. Oh, remove 2 tradecraft tokens. Guess what? My Thor has it now. So I think that's good. Actually, you know what? This Phil Coulson may be 50 points because the other one was supposed to be, I think, 75 points. I love these old spy gizmos. Precision Strike, free. Remove a tradecraft token. In KO a standard object held by Phil Coulson or an adjacent friendly character, if you do the character, if you do the character that was holding the object, chooses a standard attack power to use this turn. This is sneaky. I think that some people could use this to get the one up on most folks, but I think this is like on a scale of 1 to 10, this trick is like a 3. It's not bad. Well, actually, it's sort of bad, but it's not the worst trick you can pull. If you're playing against that Phil Coulson, you're sort of waiting for that trick to drop because there's no other reason to be playing that trick other than to gank. Pretty much just to gank one of your objects. All right, so if we go back now, we have Captain Marvel's. Again, this is the other shifting focus, and like I said, she has running shot, and so she's running shot free. If Captain Marvel began your turn on this map, replace her with blah blah blah, the other one. So yeah, shifting focus. Full spectrum bombardment, psychic blast with 3 targets. When Captain Marvel uses it after resolutions, any hit targets that didn't take damage from this attack are dealt 1 penetrating damage. Again, this is okay. This is not game breaking. This is not, look at mom, she's awesome. This is realistically like, wow, that's a very decent piece. Like, it's a decent piece. So far you can sort of tell, like, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not super enthusiastic, and I'm doing my best to keep how I feel about Captain Marvel like out of this. And I'm talking about Captain Marvel recently. I loved Miss Marvel. I really did like Miss Marvel. I don't like Captain Marvel. And it's not just for the outfit either. But I digress. So let's go into Minerva. Friendly characters that are adjacent or have the Kree keyword have protected outwit on their speed powers. If that friendly character is both adjacent and has the Kree keyword, they also have protected outwit on their attack powers. Okay. That's pretty nice. I think this is probably one of the better characters that you can get. So let's break it down. You're paying 75 points. You're 5 clicks. That part 6 clicks. That sort of stings. Okay, but she has regen, which is okay. She's starting off with prob. She's giving you protected outwit. Limited protected outwit, but she is giving it to you. And more importantly, you're running her on a Kree team. You're not running her on a scientist team. You're not running her on a cosmic team. You're running her with Kree. So you're stacking all those other like cool little effects with her to make her better. And I gotta be honest, like in the grand scheme of things, she looks like she can, be really useful. Now, will a lot of people buy her or use her? No. I think the casual crowd is going to enjoy her a lot more. But if, down the line, there's particular characters that need their speed powers, protected, I think she's a good option. All right, let's move on down to Talos. Again, scrolls, man. +1 shape change. I like this as adjacent opposing characters can't use team abilities. I don't think it works on Power Cosmic, but man, That's nice. That is definitely nice. But I will also come back and say team abilities aren't as strong as they used to be. So then you have within my grasp charge, plasticity, stealth, giant reach 2. So they're sort of doing super scroll. Regeneration, when Talos uses it, he heals an additional click. Now, I'm gonna say this. Talos, I assume, is probably one of the main bad guys you would fight because it looks like she's designed to go toe to toe with Captain Marvel. So that they would. He's more evasiony and he doesn't do a lot of damage, but he might get lucky and he's chipping her down. That's how I look at this. The type of fight that he's supposed to have with Captain Marvel. I will counter that by saying he's not fully there. He has stuff that can get him in the fight and keep her there, but the fact is, like, she just shifts from the ranged version to the melee version, and it's a bit more in her favor. So yeah, Talos is okay. I would give him a 5 out of 10. Maybe 6. Alright, so now we got a 100-point Nick Fury. And he has Espionage, the Spy Master. And then, now this is something, Whiz Kids. I don't know if you saw the trailer. Okay. I don't know if you saw the trailer. But you could have easily, instead of giving us 2 Nick Furies and 2 Coulsons, you had the opportunity to give us a couple of good figures that would have been interesting. One of which would have been Scroll Grandma. Now, I want the heroclix community to get behind me when I talk about Scroll Grandma. We see it in the commercial, and Brie Larson goes after her, and it's like, oh, you hit an old woman. Why is that? It's because she's a Skrull. Now, does Scroll Grandma need to be the most magnificent piece ever? No. But if Scroll Grandma is 20 points and leap, climb, shape change, 10 attack, 2 damage, stealth, and, on her first click, maybe a precision strike, and then on click 2, she's, perplex. Oh, is that really a grandma? Perplex, like 9 attack, 16 defense, combat reflexes, leap climb, something, like something funny. Like, you could have given us Scroll Grandma, okay? Even if you had to make the sculpt up yourself and you didn't have rights to use that actor, give us, dig deep. And I know you're going to say, but you guys want multiple chances at your favorite character. Now, this ain't Target anymore, homie. You are selling these things in our normal stores. Don't waste our time with this double up crap. Now, I know you're going to say, but our bottom line makes this better. I get that. That's why I'm not really crapping on the shifting focus Captain Marvel, because I feel like that's done right. Nick Fury and Coulson, that's a little bit lazy. That's some laziness. So anyway, let's go back into Nick Fury. He's 6 range. Again, he got a better Glock. Espionage, the Spy Master, leadership. Okay, traded leadership is always good. Nick Fury starts the game with 5 tradecraft tokens. Ooh, free. Remove a tradecraft token and choose an opposing character within line of fire. That character can't have their combat values positively modified until your next turn. So he's pretty much outsiders. And so that's pretty good, but you don't have to be in range. So that's even more stupid. Is that worth 100 points? I don't know. But let's keep going. Going dark. Sidestep. Stealth. Free. Remove a tradecraft token and then move Nick Fury or an adjacent friendly character up to half their speed value. Ooh, that's pretty good for IDs. It's also good for rundown teams. Most of the taxis are going away. And imagine, what is it? Common Green Lantern phasing up, moving, his movement -3, and then getting to move half his movement again. I think that's pretty good. So no one ever really dies. Stop. When this power is first revealed, remove all tradecraft tokens and heal Nick Fury that many. So if you didn't use tradecraft tokens the entire game, you just go back to click 1 and you just say, screw you. Now, I know someone will be thinking, well, Dark Logos, does that mean that he is part of the Don't Die tech? And it's possible you could probably use him for Don't Die, or better yet, the new phrase is Hard to Kill. I don't know who coined the Hard to Kill thing. Maybe Daniel Powell, maybe PJ, hell, maybe Patrick. Patrick, what's up with Majestics, Apex Predators? What's up with my show? I want you and Chase back. I love my boy PJ, but I need that commentary goodness. Get the guest on the show. Do it. Please. Please. All right. Coming back. Yeah, he's hard to kill. And so I think that's where the point starts. And if you put him with other older mechanics that are really like actually don't die, he doesn't stand up. But when you start looking at corrupt PD cop, you start looking at Lockjaw. Do you really want Nick Fury during that fight? And I don't know. But for some people that can't afford Lockjaw or can't afford or get some of the other hard to kill elements, the only thing they have is like corrupt PD cop and maybe one or two other cheapo figures that are okay. Here you go, Nick Fury. There you go, homies. All right, Atlas. Oh gosh. Sometimes you need to be a little bit more subtle with your names. Okay, just be a little bit more subtle with your names. Okay. All right. Kree Supremacy, empowered by superior technology. Friendly characters are adjacent or have the Kree keyword have protected outwit on their defense powers. Now this is good. If that friendly character is both adjacent and has the Kree keyword, they also have protected outwit on their damage powers. I like this. This keeps your guys that are, that need those defense powers protected. Now, is this a Ben Urich or a Foggy Nelson? One of those two. I forgot which one it is. No, because it's just the price point. But if we take away the trait and we just look at the dial and we say 75 points, hypersonic speed, leadership, 11 attack, impervious, meh, that's not bad. That's really not bad. Is it the best that you can do? No. Is it pretty nice for Cosmic and Kree? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bring in the Kool-Aid Man, GIFs. Because choosy moms choose GIFs. Especially the meme version. All right. Young Rong. Kree Supremacy. Again, this is number 15, Young Rong. Kree Supremacy. We shall win. Sorry, not when shall we win. We shall win this war. We shall win this war. Friendly characters that are adjacent or have the Greek keyword modify attack by +1 when targeting only characters that use shape change or stealth. If the friendly character is both adjacent and has Greek keyword, it can use improved targeting ignores hindering. Now, oh, and hindering characters. Oh, sorry. That's pretty good. Now, I feel like this is a mixed bag. Now, Yang Rong lets you hunt scrolls. But if you're not afraid of scrolls or Batman, are you ever using him? And the answer is more than likely no. So, yeah. Now, let's look at Bronchar. I'm going to just say a thing on the name thing. You don't need to double up on a same character of a letter to create some sort of false symmetry with their names. Like, they could be called all sorts of stuff. They don't have to sound like they're Gundam name rejects, Marvel. And again, I know this is Jack Kirby era characters, so that's fine. But still, like, come on. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. You know, like, we can do better than that. All right. Bronchar. Kree supremacy, live, Kree, or die. I actually like that phrase, live, Kree, or die. Once per turn for all characters with this trait, when a friendly character that's adjacent or has a Kree keyword is KO'd. After resolution, you may deal 1 damage to each opposing character that was adjacent to the KO'd character. If that friendly character is both adjacent and had the Kree keyword, the damage dealt is penetrating. Oh, man. He is like Pog's Suicide Bomber City. Him and the Penguins gonna be running around. Oh gosh, that in Ironmonger 2.0. Oh gosh, Ironmonger 2.0 with ants. It's not Theme Team anymore, but if you really want to, make your opponents hate life, there you go. Wow. That's dumb. Okay. Is this great? Meh. It's not super great. It's probably a 4 out of 10. But, with some older game elements, it's definitely fun. Definitely fun. So you don't ever undersell fun. Next up is Scroll Scientist, and he's high for a scientist. But he has that shape change +1, and then when an opposing character is KO'd by an attack, after resolutions, you may place Scroll Scientist in or adjacent to that character square. If you do, he gains immune until your next turn. Now, some people don't know about immune because it's literally a phrase that you have to go into the rule book to find out about. And immune works like this. That character can't be moved, attacked, or placed by any opposing game effect. So functionally, that character has, to sum it up, first turn immunity. Yeah. Oh, it's turn 15. You get up. Teleport. I'm immune. Ha ha. Last round. Oh. Oh no. I can't kill him. Oh no. So yes, can this dude be bonkers? Maybe in more clutch situations. But I just want people to know what that does. Next up is Hidden in Plain Sight, free. Place Scroll Scientist in or adjacent to the square of an unheld object within range, then KO it. So I'm mixed on this because for less points, I feel like I'd rather have Coulson, the 50-point Coulson. The I collect your stuff Coulson. I don't know. I just I really am not feeling that. But I will say this. I am enjoying what this dial does. And I can see like how this is useful to scrolls. Am I like fully down on it? No. No, I'm not. But I am in a position that I'm willing to say this has potential. I don't think it's super high potential, but I do think this has potential. So I'm gonna go with this being like more of a 5 out of 10. Yeah, more 5 out of 10. If I can get a super scroll, kids, I need a super scroll with this trait, and also limited pick of power. Please, WizKids, do it for me. Do it for me, please. All right, so we're coming back. Phil Coulson, the one that the internet has been spinning their wheels about, having fun about, talking about how Phil Coulson will make Avengers the greatest that they've ever been. So let's look at these expectations and messiah complexes that people have put on Phil Coulson. So first off, we have Espionage Mankind's Shield. Phil Coulson starts the game with 5 tradecraft tokens. That's about standard. Remove a tradecraft token to choose a standard damage power for Phil Coulson to use until your next turn. So, Prob, Perplex, Support. That's pretty good. Now, I want it noted that to remove a tradecraft token to get a support with an 11 attack is pretty good. So, and that's the defensive player in me talking. I mean, there is Prob, there is Perplex. And I wonder if you could just say I burned 5 tradecraft tokens and I get 5 5 damage powers in one turn. I don't think it works that way, but it doesn't say once per turn. So yeah. All right, Hard Light Shield, but into the hand. Ooh, that's nice. Energy Shield Deflection. There we go. It's traded. Oh, I'm starting to see this Messiah complex come in. Free, remove a tradecraft token to choose an adjacent character until your next turn. That character can use Energy Shield Deflection if they are adjacent to Phil Coulson. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's nice. Zephyr 1, Stealth. Passenger 4, Phil Coulson does not modify his speed value from use of the carry ability. WizKids, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this once, so I don't have to save it again. If we're going to go into... See, now I have to say this twice. If we're going to go into the arena of mega taxis and you said like, okay, version 1.0, we made some of these guys too cheap, some of these guys did way too much, let's try to see if we get like a mid-range sedan to carry 4 pieces. Okay, if you're going to do it, don't then give him more stuff than what you can cram into a 75-point character. Just don't do that, please. Okay? So, functionally, what you're telling me is this character for 75 points has Energy Shield Deflection, can pick Prob, Perplex, Shape Change, Support. Hell, might be able to do all that in the same turn. Okay? has a stop click, is able to grant my friendly characters energy shield deflection for 75 points, and on top of that as a hyper carry. Tis a bit much. Tis a bit much. Definitely considering that I can still I can still have character sidestep out. And if we look at the map, and the map being 24 squares, and you're in the average map, you're taking away 4 of those 24 squares. So you're having Phil Coulson navigate 12. That's a bit high. Now, I also want to thank you for not giving him upfront willpower. I really do. Because if he did, he would be full on bonkers. So, yes. All right, so I can see why everybody says that Phil Coulson is the second coming of Avengers Phil Coulson, which that piece too was also pretty good. He has a stop click, and then of course he can remove his tradecraft tokens to heal himself all the way up. So yeah, Tahiti is a magical place, Phil Coulson. Tahiti is a magical place. All right. So let's look at Korath, my brother from another planet. Korath, running shot, 6 range, 11 attack, 17 defense, 3 damage. Okay. Yeah. I'm not too hype yet. Prove targeting nor is hindering. Freaking scroll hunting bastards. Scroll hunting bastards. Okay, WizKids. If you're going to make a mini faction thing where it's like Kree versus Skrulls, okay, and you're going to make a little micro set like this where like, look, I can reenact the movie. Do not give the hero side of the movie such one-sided advantages. Okay? Just please don't. Give them advantages, but also give the Skrulls advantages. And I haven't seen the movie, but at least give the other side some level of advantage so that the other player that's playing the Skrulls has an incentive to play. Because I haven't seen a huge incentive to play Skrulls over Kree. It's like League of Legends, except one side gets minions and champions, and the other side just gets an extra cannon minion and maybe one super minion every 3 waves, and they only get 2 champions. It's really not fun. The more I'm looking at this, the more the Kree abilities stack up in a force, the less the Skrulls have a chance of doing anything. Like, there is nothing in the Skrull side that scales up that makes me want to buy more Skrulls or look for more Skrulls. I should be wanting to look for more of the entire set. I should be looking to say, like, Kree, Skrull, these are the new main keywords that are going to be used. That they work with a lot of other, game elements, or even going back to Avengers Infinity, saying, look, we have Kree and Skrull in there. Now you can synergize with some of those characters. Boom, there you go. But no, I'm not feeling that. And I know I just sort of broke down on Korath, and I really didn't look into him, but it's sort of frustrating to me. Like, there is nothing that the Skrulls have that lets them deal with a stacked Kree lineup. There's just nothing. So there's no reason why there's a conflict, because it's quite clear that one race is completely superior to the other by design. Okay. I said race. I should say faction. Faction would be probably the better, correct term when it comes to this sort of thing. All right, so Kree supremacy, you shall not escape. When a friendly character that's adjacent or has the Kree keyword hits after resolutions, that character may move one square. If that character is both adjacent and has the Kree keyword instead, all friendly characters with the Kree keyword can move one square. Come on. Come on, buddy. Everybody everybody can move. Wow. That's just stupid. That's just stupid. Now they did try to balance him out by saying like, look, he's 75 points and he's 5 clicks. So he can be taken out, but that's a lot of mobility. And the sad part is, like most of these characters do not die because they show up in Guardians of the Galaxy. So, yeah, I don't know what to say there. Anyway, let's keep going. Ronan. Oh, buddy. Ronan. He has brought forth the hammer of war to smite his enemies. Those that fail to uphold Kree justice shall know the judgment of the accuser. All right, so Kree supremacy, you stand accused. You stand accused. If no friendly character has been placed this turn, choose an opposing character that's dealt damage to a friendly character that's adjacent or that has the Kree keyword since your last turn. Place Ronan adjacent to that opposing character. Then make a close attack that deals penetrating damage targeting that character. So Ronan's a colossal retaliator. He's a colossal retaliator. And I find this exhilarating and scary at the same time. And the main reason I find this close and exhilarating at the same time is I was waiting to see what would happen when finally WizKids looked at the colossal retaliation mechanic outside of big, huge, colossal characters and started applying it to standard characters. And I was afraid, like, look, this is just going to be problems. But what they did is they took the free element out of this. And by taking the free element out of it, I feel like it's a little bit more balanced and it allows people to still apply pressure and not just do the nuclear silo effect where there's like 18 different retaliators waiting and you can't kill them all in one turn. Okay? So you're playing an episode of G.I. Joe where you're trying to, stop the nukes from hitting America coming from, freaking Cobra Commander's satellite. And I think that's pretty good. So let's go on to his damage power. If you stand with the guilty, hold on, wait. This is a good line. If you stand with the guilty, you will share their fate. Close combat expert. When Ronan uses it and hits after resolutions, he may use it again at no cost to target a character he hasn't hit this turn. He may repeat this if he keeps hitting. It specifically says that. He may repeat this if he keeps hitting. Now, my friends, you have a Hawkeye. You have a Hawkeye here. This is Hawkeye. Vulture is in Hawkeye. This is Hawkeye. This is Hawkeye. Now, I know some of you are saying to yourself, Edward, how is this Hawkeye? And it's quite obvious. Mjolnir. You just need Mjolnir. Okay? He teleganks in. He's like, bam, I hit you for 4 damage or whatever. Or you just sort of TK him in place, get the 3 empowers going or whatever stat modification you need, and just be like, close combat expert. I hit you for 7, you for 7, you for 7, you for 7. Okay, are y'all still here? I like this hammer versus my cosmic hammer the Kree gave me. And that's pretty much it. There's very little, very, very, very little that your opponent can do against that. And so I think that's just awesome. Is this going to change things up? Maybe. He's cosmic keyword. How is he dealing with Unimind? I don't know. I don't know. You know, are you throwing Kree characters at somebody? I guess. But I just like it. That's all I know. I just like it. All right. Captain Marvel, 150 point Death Beast Captain Marvel, number 21. You know, let the sun shine in. What can I'm gonna just be honest. Everybody's pretty much read her. She's pretty broke. I'm gonna go through it. Energy absorption trait. When Captain Marvel takes 2 or more damage from a single attack after resolutions, note her current click number, and then turn her to click 11. If she would be KO'd, she can't be turned to click 11. Kree Supremacy, Cosmic Awareness, friendly characters that are adjacent or have the Kree keyword have protected opposing probability control. If a friendly character is both adjacent and has a Kree keyword, they can use probability control, but only to target itself. Whoop de freaking do. I give prob to friendly Kree that are next to me so that I can make my attacks, and also have things that help me make a +1 to make my attacks, and also have things that allow me to see through stealth to make my attacks. Oh, I have stuff to make sure that I'm protected, outwit, so that my defense cannot be negated, because Kree are stupid. Kree are stupid. And I'm gonna let that go. Okay, so let's go into also. Oh well, that's not even done. Use probability control. Sorry, strafing run, improve movement, characters, which you sort of could do anyway because you fly. But I guess you could just auto breakaway. Character running shot. When Captain Marvel uses it after resolutions, she may use charge at no cost, but can't target the same character. So I know a lot of people said, like, look, we're gonna put Doc Ock arms on her and watch her go to town, and I agree. You know, she shoots off, hits somebody, and it's like, oh yeah, running shot. Now I'm gonna charge, boom, boom. Now I'm gonna charge flurry, and she drops a hefty 12 damage in a turn, and I think that's really good. And she hits, you know, at her point range. She's half the team. She should be doing cool stuff like that, let alone if you get some good stat modification. And if she gets hit, then lo and behold, she becomes Kree Larson. And she's 20D. And yeah, that's just stupid. So let's look at that 20 defense click. Supercharged, impervious, colossal stamina. At the end of your turn, or if Captain Marvel would be KO, return her to her most recent noted click number, protected, outwit, and pulse wave. You don't get to keep it, But the fact is, for me doing 2 damage to you, 2 damage or more, you get to go into goddess mode. And then just be like, screw you. Good luck killing me. There hadn't been 20 Ds in this game for a while. That's a bit frustrating. That is a bit frustrating. All right. And the fact she has colossal stamina too, so it doesn't matter if she's tokened up. She's just going to do whatever she's going to do, push, die, and then go back. Go back to her last click. So she really isn't punished for pushing, colossal pushing. All right, so I'm going to sum up Carol Danvers' Fearless because I know I'm about to run out of time here, and pretty much what she is a okay attacker, and she comes in and tries to be a slightly better attacker with her +1s, and more importantly, she's trying to stall out the game so that she can turn into Captain Marvel, into the Chase Captain Marvel. That's really, I mean, the number 21 Captain Marvel. That's all she's trying to do. So when you look at it like that, you have a choice. Like, you're either going to go into like the shifting focus Captain Marvel, which I think it says number 10, 1 and 10. Yeah, the shifting focus Captain Marvel on 1 or 10, which then you're getting 25 points of value. Or you can go to number 21, which is super death from above Captain Marvel, if you're able to get up to 6 points. So you're functionally activating this 6 turns in a row, her +1s, and hoping you have attacks. I mean, have valid targets, or you're healing her up with a medic. So, do I like her? No, because she doesn't have all the Kree good stuff that she needs. She needs that Kree stuff to make her stupid. Without the Kree keyword, she's okay. She's shield and past in Soldier. So Soldier's going to get some love a bit, but realistically, it's that shield part that should be Kree. But yeah, I think that's the only thing that's really keeping her balanced. Otherwise, she would be sort of stupid. So let's summarize this set here. If you are a Kree fan, if you are a Captain Marvel fan, if you are a Brie Larson fan, if you are looking forward to this movie, if you want to try to be competitive with the Chase number 21 Captain Marvel or the Chase Carol Danvers, and I'm just saying it's to my knowledge that the 21 is a Chase. If not, I don't know what everybody's freaking out about, that they pulled her. But if you are happy for those things, especially if you are a Kree fan, buy this. If you are not a Kree fan, if you're not a fan of Captain Marvel, if tentpoles are not your thing, then don't buy this. I'm a Skrulls fan. I'm not just saying that just to be antagonistic with all the stuff, but I like Skrulls. I like Skrulls and heroclix. They are my jam. And it's been a long time since we've had Skrulls. Like, and I'm saying that honestly. Like, you can go look it up. Like, you can literally go. I'm looking. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna look it up right now. It's been a long time since we had Kree 2, but not as long. Like, you got them in Avengers Infinity, but realistically, when you go over to keywords and you zippity doo dah, down to Skrulls, right? And you hit that search button. It's really lean. The last time we got a Skrull was Civil War storyline OP, and it was freaking Hulkling. Okay, before that, we got Hybrid and Avengers Assembled. And then we got Dire Wraith in Guardians of the Galaxy set, Dire Wraith Queen, Skrull, and Super Skrull. So it's been a long time, and we've been left with nothing for Skrulls. Mainly, I blame Marvel, and I understand with the whole Fantastic Four, kill all the Fox properties, make it bleed, all that other jazz. But when we got the Avengers movie, we got a crap ton of skulls. A scroll, sorry. We got a crap ton of Skrulls. Skrull Commander, Skrull General, Skrull Saboteur, Skrull Warrior, Skrull Infiltrator. Like, we got Skrulls. Galactic Guardians, Skrull Rebel, Lila, the Laser Fist, Zaven, Super Skrull, Replica, Skrull Assassin, another Super Skrull, Incredible Hulk, Skrull Black Bolt, Secret Invasion, Yellow Jacket, Miss Marvel, Dum Dum Dugan, Captain Marvel, Skrulls, Super Skrull X-Men, Skrull Emperor, Elektra, Super Skrull Avengers, Super Skrull Illuminati, Susan Richards, Spider-Woman. Like, we got stuff. And I feel like in this set, we sort of got Bupkis. And that's frustrating. So, yeah, like Ronan, I think is probably the main thing that most people are going to try to use. Carol's going to be real popular. Sorry, Captain Marvel number 21 is going to be really popular. I think mainly in fact that there are enough different outlets hyping it that its prices are going to go up. And so let's just do a little quick eBay check. I know I'm over an hour, people. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know there's some people out there, it's just like Dark Logos, you just like hearing yourself talk. And to a degree, yes, that's how you stay in this business. You gotta enjoy hearing yourself talk. Not enjoying your own farts, though, that's a different thing. So let's just look for Captain Marvel 021. Okay, so there's one on the market and it's going for $100 on eBay. And that's funny because you could get a 24 count gravity feed for $124. So, yeah. And you can get 1 through 20 for $50. Like, somebody is offering that right now. So, I don't know what type of crack people are smoking. Maybe it could be. In the back of my mind, what I think it is that most people don't have it yet. I think that's really why the costs are so high. When there's more on the market, I think maybe the cost will go down. Maybe. But again, is Captain Marvel number 21 going to show up at Worlds? I don't know. If someone's able to make, the title one work or make a team with her work or whatever, then yeah. But if I'm looking at it and I have to fight that Captain Marvel, I'm pretty much just outwitting her defense and then just hitting her as hard as I possibly can, so that you have that one turn where she's just stupid and you just try to survive that turn and she reverts back at the, I think it's, at the end of her turn. And then, it's like I hit you for 5. Okay, I'm on stupid click mode. All right, great. I could try to do, more to you, or just accept the fact that you're going to nuke my entire team, or try to, nuke one of my characters for 5 damage. So I'm going to accept that I'm going to lose a piece. And then when you're back on, 17 defense, flurry, range combat expert, I'm just going to kill you. And I think that's really what you do. You don't. You just accept the fact that she's going to go nuclear, have that one turn, and then go back. If anyone's like, oh, well, she's just going to be great, and she'll never take a ton of damage. Like, no, this chick can be outwitted. So, again, I understand the hype train. I hype my own stuff. I've hyped Iron Man. I've hyped Earth X Cap. I understand shows love things because they fit with their play style. I can understand how Clickstoff can love this because this is another Unimind character. This is another tent pole that can just blast your opponent and also still works well with excuse me, lockjaw plus equipment combo. I get it. And summoning IDs and all the other cool stuff. I get it. I'm not hating. I'm just, I guess for me, it's maybe not worth the squeeze. So anyway, I'm not gonna pass on all of it, but I'm going to wait. I see the desire for the 150 Captain Marvel. I mean, for number 21 Captain Marvel and number 22 Captain Marvel. Is just, I really don't. I don't have the energy to throw money to get that. If I get lucky and buy a couple, then fine. I think I just accept it at that. But beyond that, no. So speaking of the eBays, I've been on a purchasing spree recently, just getting some things for upcoming events and whatnot. And I don't have any. I shouldn't have anything in my cart. It's telling me I got stuff in my cart. It's like, nope, I shouldn't have anything in my cart. Anyway. So, I've been hit up by one of these guys I bought these Sentinels from because, unfortunately, I think I brought it up in the other show, maybe or maybe not. I'm a little bit hazy. He hit me up, and he pretty much, told me, like, look, man, what's up? I listened to your show. And so anyway, I'm going to read part of what he sent me on eBay. It is Mercury_Games. He's got a 720 positive rating. He sent me 2 Tri-Sentinels at very reasonable prices. And so I definitely want to shout him out just for the eBay thing. Mercury_Games, 725 I guess feedback. He has a store. He has a purple icon. Score between 500 to 999. Nothing but positive reviews from what I've seen. So yeah, I don't see anybody that's given him a negative review in the last year. I have one neutral in the last year, but no negative. So he writes, hey, Dark Logos, my man, I appreciate your support and I commend you on your podcast. FY until June, Vulture Prime plus Sam Cap and Star Fox Trouble Alert GL, Doc Ock Arms on Vulture, a Groot and a Surtur are high octane. Turn 2, rage quit causing, table flipping, all the timeness, all the Timmies. I think he has Timmies and the bad Tonys, granting you plus 10 to 15. Bad Tonys are granting you a 10 to a 15-minute win this side of the meta rainbow. Holy run on sentence Batman, but that's funny. Until June, it will be the bane of everyone that likes to hang back and pew pew pew. Want to have a hard counter against Avatar, Pog, Swarms, and Retaliator bills. Recall, Vulture Prime is the ticket. So, yeah, cool. I like to say this. Occasionally, when I've bought things from people on eBay that know the show, they always send me a great message encouraging me. And for everybody I've bought from in the past, everybody I've referred to, thank you. Everybody listening now, thank you for listening to the show. It means a lot. I was looking back, I was like, shoot, I've been doing this for over 8 years on YouTube. I was doing it like a year and a half, 2 years before I even got to YouTube. I was like, crap, I've been doing this almost 10 years. I'm like, I could have raised a small child in that time. Anyway, so also I had another listener come back and say he wished he could download the show. Now, here's the thing, people. I'm going to say this. Feel free to download the show using whatever app you're going to use. But to help me out, like, just run it once, at least, through, in the background. You don't even have to be looking at it. Just let it play before you download it. Mainly for me, because I can't track any of that stuff. I don't know who's listening. I don't know my imprints. I don't know my data that I need to know to make the show better. Because if I see there is a lot of people like listening for 3 minutes in the Google Analytics that they give me, it only encourages me to make shorter shows. And I like the hour-long format, and I know I'm over, but I like the hour-long format because it gives me time to break things down, and you get more out of it. I am not selling you, bits and pieces, and you're coming back, throughout the week, to the channel to hear, now here's part 4, here's part 5, here's part 6. Like, even when I do set reviews, I give you part 1 and part 2 together. But if you're going to download it, feel free to download it, but at least let it run first, so I can be aware of like where my analytics stand, where people are cutting off at, where people are, like what's their average attention span. And one of the cool things before YouTube just went full stupid a couple of years ago, I had really good analytics on the show, like good analytics. The average watch time for this show is 45 minutes. After all the silliness, the average watch time is around 25 to 30 minutes. And I don't know if it's just humanity's attention spans are getting shorter, or I'm just becoming worse at this. Could be both, could be neither. There you go. So like I said, if you're going to download it, feel free. I don't care. The show's free. I don't run ads. I am probably one of the minor banes in YouTube's side because they couldn't get their stuff together. That there's people that their monetization does not tempt them. So anyway, yeah. So let's wrap this up. You can follow me at Start Over Pod. It came from outer space and told me that the fire people of Zebulon 9 Tor 3, yes, 9 Tor 3, not 943, 9 Tor 3, have been fighting against the atomic space ice people of the third moon of the 18th planet that shall be unnamed. They've been fighting for 2 years now in the Grand Twiddlywink War to see who has the best dexterity. And none know this but my Twitter until now. Follow me on Twitter to find out when the new shows are up. More importantly, follow me on Twitter because YouTube hates YouTubers. So even if you're subscribed and you like that bell, I may not be in your notification. So if it's been over a week and you're saying to yourself, I need that Starting Over podcast goodness, where is it? It's because YouTube hates me and loves The Daily Show. loves The Daily Show, and loves late night with Conan O'Brien and all the other late night crap that shows up. You can email me at startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. That's startingoverpodcast@gmail.com. If you wish to opine, keep it piffy, keep it interesting, keep it Autobot, baby. Let me know what you think of the game so far with the Earth X set dropping. I've been focusing on that. Mercury Games gave me his input. Where else are you standing? I am... Yeah, you can donate to the show at startingoverpodcast.blogspot.com, and everything goes to making the show better. I have a WKO next week, so I might be doing video of the Kansas City WKO. I'm going to try to go to the Tulsa Regional. So yes, Juggernaut Bros and Clicksman Bros, I will be there and be looking to have some fun with y'all. I don't know what I'm going to break out yet, which is sort of weird for me. I'm in between two builds. So, yeah. Yeah. I'll leave it at that. And so anyway, that's it. That's the stuff that's coming up. So be on the lookout for that. I'd like to thank you all for listening. I forgot. If you haven't seen it already, go ahead, or listened to it already. I'm on 2 Clicks for KO. I'm on the last show at 2 Clicks for KO. So sorry about that. I didn't know when it was out, and I listened to it yesterday. So yeah, if you want to see some or listen to me be more silly, a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more charismatic, check me out there. All right, thank you for listening, and remember, we